2 weeks in a row, huh?
I, gosh, I just don't know, man.
Well, I mean, look, man, they were due eventually. I mean, you guys won the like what 8 of the last 9.
It wasn't supposed to be this time.
Oh my God, we did it!
I don't want to hear it from a guy whose half his fan base is Swifties. Broncos country, let's cry.
Back to the Super Bowl.
Why'd they put the trash cans next to the Cowboys helmet?
You could take it and shove it up your.
Peace!
What I really need to be hearing from you, though, is thank you.
Good afternoon, football fans, and Merry Christmas from all of us here at the Trajan Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the terrible towel. At least he was wearing it. Now he's twirling it. There we go. That's
I'll
good.
give it.
Let's get
I'll
some
give
life
it.
in here. You still got the playoff spot, right?
Yeah, we're still number 3.
Terrible towel twirling Trajan. How are we doing this fine day? Getting ready, get excited for the holiday season and everything?
I'm excited. Christmas time already. We got Steelers, Chiefs coming up. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a great time.
Great time. Holiday season. Who doesn't love watching football on Christmas Day?
On Netflix, where we have to pay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not like we wanted to go to this game or anything like that, So had to pick the worst possible day of the year to have this matchup NFL, But it's all right. I got myself Chris President. I got myself a Travis Kelsey pop figure, so it's on my desk. It's making me feel a little bit better. If I get stressed, I just look at him. He's there for me. Alrighty. Well, there was a lot of fun games this weekend. A couple of them happening a day early. Since a couple teams have to play on a certain Wednesday this week. There were 4 teams that had to play on a Saturday, and we are going to talk about both of those games momentarily. But starting off with the game that happened on the noon slot on Saturday, which turned out as such a great win at home. So let's hear it, Kingdom. How about those Chiefs? The magic number is down to 1. We are right there, knocking on the door to the first round bye. Knocking on the door where I can go see Carson Wentz play football as a starting QB next weekend for my birthday. Potentially. We'll see how it goes here too. And darn you Patriots, you had to blow it really. Uh,
Can't ruin that draft spot.
let's be honest. Like this was their best chance at it. Like week 18, Buffalo's gonna kill New England. They're just gonna stomp all over them probably. Even if they're locked into the second spot, their backups will come in and kick their rear ends. It's going to be not even a given at this point. But yes, as you can see, the Kansas City Chiefs take down the Houston Texans at home at Arrowhead Stadium with a final score of 27-19. And boy, does it feel nice to go 2 weeks in a row without having it be a 2-point or a 3-point game. I was extremely nervous about this one.
Yeah.
And, albeit the Texans, they've been slipping. They've been slipping these past few weeks. It's still C.J. Stroud. It's still Tank Dell. It's still Nico Collins. C.J. Stroud showed a lot of promise early in the season and last year too. They're still fighting for something. They're still fighting to clinch their division respectfully. So yeah, going into this game, I knew we couldn't have a game where Mahomes was giving away the ball. We had to make sure we protect. Get the run game going, and make smart decisions with the ball. And I gotta say, I was very impressed. The offense did just that this week. Mahomes made smart decisions, was smart with the ball. We did get the running game going decently with Kareem Hunt, 11 carries for him, including a touchdown. Pacheco, 9 carries for him. So you get 20 plus carries in the game. Seems to yield good results for the Chiefs, and I like seeing that, especially since we don't have to rely on Mahomes to throw bombs every single time into double coverage and hope for the best. So, speaking of Mahomes, 1 touchdown, 260 yards through the air. As I mentioned, Kareem Hunt, 11 carries for 55 yards, including a touchdown. And got to give a shout out to Pat Mahomes, too. I was yelling for him to get down on that scramble for the touchdown because I was afraid something bad was going to happen. But in a way, almost similar to a previous matchup with San Fran, runs in the end zone, knocks down a defender while he does so. Touchdown, Kansas City gets the lead going off early. But even before that, shout out to the rookie Jaden Hicks. His third interception of the season gets the Chiefs in good field position to go down the field, short field, and get that touchdown, take the lead. Excellent job by the defense for the most part. The other interception, of course, going to Trent McDuffie. We got a streak going now. After 3 years of no interceptions, now he's already got 2 in the last 2 weeks. So hats off to him. Well played from him. As far as everyone else on the defense, Drew Tranquil all over the place. 7 total tackles for him. 2 sacks, one from Mike Pennell. I was about to say Brian Cook for some reason. No, Brian Cook was one of the ones that had an interception in the back of the end zone last week. And Josh Williams with the big sack towards the end that made it 4th and I think, 25 or something like that for the Texans, forcing them to punt. And, like I said, that's where Kareem Hunt showed up big time right there. And Samaje Perine, can't forget him too. A couple great game-sealing runs / passes there at the end to kill the rest of the clock too. Also, shout out to Xavier Worthy. 7 receptions for him, 65 yards, including a touchdown. Man, he was so close to having 2 touchdowns. But he's a guy that's been getting better and better every single week, more comfortable even as a rookie. He is now tied for the most touchdowns as a rookie receiver this year. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Yes, he's coming into his own. Obviously, he was going to get more opportunities considering Rashee Rice going to be out for the season. Hollywood Brown, 5 catches for him. Great to see him back out there. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 catches for him also. Mahomes was doing a great job of spreading the ball around today. That's what you want to have. They take away one option, you've got 3 other good options there too, and that's what Mahomes likes to see. On a more somber note, though, very sad news for the Houston Texans, and my God, was it gruesome seeing in real time. Tank Dell, after catching a very impressive touchdown pass, I do have to say, in a situation that was almost similar to what happened to Rashee Rice, and it was kind of a friendly fire situation too. It has been reported he did dislocate his knee, tore his ACL, and it was described as other significant damage was done to his knee. So, definitely prayers up for Tank Dell. You hate to see that for him, especially after last year having his season cut short with another knee injury. Something like that. I mean, God, it's hard to see him even suiting up next year for the Texans.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Definitely, probably not going to be back in service the first part of the year. Definitely, it's rough.
Absolutely. So, yep, our best wishes to him and his family. It couldn't happen at a worse time. You're trying to get to the playoffs too, and the holiday season and everything too. You're trying to be in a festive move, and now you're just worried about what kind of severe damage is going to be in your knee. He's probably still in the hospital recovery right now. And I know that's where I would want to be if, for Christmas, is sitting in a hospital bed. So we definitely wish him the best too. It sucks to see that too. So, but that's just how it goes sometimes on the field. It comes in the worst possible way sometimes too.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one there, but well, that's the game of football. I mean, next man up, you get injured, hopefully he's back, but that's definitely rough for the Texans, and I really needed them next week.
Absolutely, definitely, you definitely do. But before we get to that, I think the time has now come, and it's a shame this had to happen second week in a row. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to I Don't Want to Talk About It. And for the second week in a row, it is to Trajan that has to talk about it. So, Trajan, Let's get through this. We'll be strong together. We'll get through this.
Yeah, together. Well, it comes down to a goal line fumble and a pick six. But to start out, I mean, it was a slow start. But in the second half, 10 points scored. Um, really had some movement there towards the end, but that goal line fumble, I mean, you were there, you watched it, running. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just go down and disaster. I thought he was injured on the play, so thank goodness he didn't, because he got hit hard. I mean, it's not like he was holding the ball very stupid or something like that. He got whacked. So, I mean, if it was just that one, it'd be forgivable. But we got down, and then we got an interception. A few plays later, pick six, and it just it sucks. It really sucks. Lamar, I mean, not crazy on the day. We He got 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. 207 yards. Biggest factor is we did not stop Derrick Henry. We generally do a very good job stopping him historically through the years in the NFL, and we let him run all. Um, yeah, we need George Pickens back fast, and we need Elliott back on our defense very badly, and I don't know. They got to toughen up. I don't know what to say. Zay Flowers, we let him go all over our wide receiver, our secondary. 5 catches, 100 yards, no touchdowns. Mark Andrew got his first touchdown as a Baltimore Raven versus the Steelers. So I guess.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Had no idea. Wow.
Yep. Derrick Henry is finally a Raven because he finally got his win versus the Steelers. They're saying not mine. Oswell was automatic on the day. Can't fault him. It just came down to our offense not protecting the ball. And I think this would be totally different if we didn't have that fumble in the red zone or that pick six. I mean, that's 14 points really. They went down and scored on that red zone fumble. And obviously, pick six, they score right away. But that's the difference maker. 14 more points. We got this one.
You'd at least be in the running at that point. You'd be feeling a lot better about it, right?
Exactly.
Well, now the question becomes, is the injury maybe still factoring TJ Watt? Because he seemed, almost nearly invisible this time. It seemed like Highsmith and Hayward were more carrying the load for the defense this week.
They were chipping him a lot. He isn't his best when he is chipped. Maybe it was affecting him. I don't know. They made a very big effort to get the ball out of his hands fast, from what I saw.
And get the run game going, too.
And the run game. I mean, we got killed several times by over pursuing Lamar, and Derrick Henry just ran it up the gut. And I don't know. Maybe if we would have put more of the focus on Derrick Henry and less on Lamar Jackson, maybe it's a different story. But I guess we'll see the 3-time MVP. He can truly claim it now that he's beat the Steelers with a capable quarterback at the helm.
There you go. All righty. Well, you made it through. I'm proud of you, buddy. You got through this. You were strong.
Had to be the freaking Ravens.
Had to be the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously, as we foreshadowed earlier, there is a huge Christmas Day matchup between our respective teams, that being the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure. But before we get to that, being it is Week 16, it is now time for the Week 16 Progress Report tier maker, which, as you can see here, is how we left it off here too. But as we mentioned last week, it will be a little different now too. Now is the time where the playoff contenders are actually the ones that have locked in a playoff spot. So Buffalo and Detroit, they'll stay where they're at up the Super Bowl level. Although I guess the case could be made we could swap out Detroit with the Philadelphia Eagles, but that's not the purpose of the tier maker this week. The purpose is to determine who is in the playoffs, who is on the outside looking in, who is still technically alive but probably not going to make it, and obviously the eliminations are straight up trash. So obviously the Bills are in, the Lions are in, Chiefs are in, Steelers are in, Ravens in. The Texans have clinched their division. However, the Colts still alive. And you know what? I was going to say they'll probably be there. We do have the Green Bay Packers in playoff contender, which actually with a win, I do believe they clinch. So they're playing right now as we speak, and they're up 21-0 over the Saints. So I think we can leave the Packers where they're sitting right now.
Exactly. Oh, let's see. And then we got Tampa Bay. Did you already mention them?
Not yet, but looks like Tampa Bay I would probably put in the meh category because I think they'll be the team that'll probably most likely take their division. Eagles obviously will stay, and oh man, Broncos and Chargers. What are we thinking here? Who's the meh and who's the bleh here? Who's most likely to stake their claim into the playoff spot?
Well, let's see. Who do they have this next week?
So the Broncos have the Bengals. The Chargers, let's see. Chargers have the Patriots and then the Raiders. So I think the Chargers might have the edge here over Denver.
I would say so. Leave the Chargers. Maybe put the Broncos right down below. But if they beat the Bengals, they're in.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, that brings us on to our first elimination to be knocked down. The Arizona Cardinals knocked down to trash. You know, there was a point in time where we thought maybe the Cardinals would steal the division.
They had some dominant wins, but they were just too inconsistent.
Absolutely. And I guess I might as well go ahead and knock the 49ers down there too, as they were mathematically eliminated as well. Boy, howdy. The team that we both thought we were just going to steamroll through this division and take the rightful place, and boy, howdy, it's just nothing's gone right for them this year.
Exactly. I mean, too many injuries. It's too much to overcome.
Alrighty. Well, I think I might just have to upgrade the Rams and maybe downgrade the Seahawks. The Rams had a very impressive victory against the Buffalo Bills, and the Seahawks, they dropped the one to the Vikings there too. So I'm thinking it's a one-game difference, but I think the Rams might be the team that takes the West.
You know, they're getting healthy and they're winning football at the right time, and Seattle's too inconsistent.
Absolutely. All right. Well, unfortunately for the Indianapolis Colts, I think they're just going to be on the outside looking in here. If they do anything, it'll probably be at the hands of the Broncos. Might switch spots with them. I just don't think they have the power to get through.
I don't think so. The Broncos, they're looking too good right now. Their defense is playing good, and their offense is doing enough.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that gets us to the Washington Commanders, who had a fantastic victory against the Philadelphia Eagles, although you would think that has a little bit of an asterisk because Jalen Hurts being injured. Kenny Pickett came in and actually kept it pretty competitive for the most part, and then he got hurt. So Washington, I think they'll find a way. I think they'll find a way to get a wild card spot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely. Alrighty, and then we go to the Miami Dolphins.
They're still in it technically, but too much to overcome.
I think they go down to bleh. I think they'll just be on the outside looking in. Alrighty. Well, speaking of not being on the outside looking in, completely gone. Chicago, they go out by the wayside. Cleveland, you go down here too, and yeah, I think that about sets it up here too. And Tennessee, you go down here as well. Forgot about them. Alrighty. So yes.
A lot of people.
Oh, I think we had. I think we said Atlanta would be just below Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay did lose.
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay still has the stronger team over Philadelphia, and they're going to Michael Penix right now too, so they're really in desperation mode. It seems like so. I don't know, could be, but let's see if Atlanta, who does have the tiebreaker, can beat the Commanders next week. I don't foresee that happening, and then they have the the Panthers the last week, whereas Tampa Bay has the Panthers this week and the Saints next week. I think unless Tampa just absolutely collapses on themselves, I think it's Tampa taking the division.
Yeah, they still got a really good team. Evans is back. That was just a bad drop to a division foe, I think.
Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. That is the updated Tier Maker Week 16 progress report. Let us know down below. Are there any teams that we have just barely missing the cut that you think will find a way to sneak their way into? We'd love to hear from you down below. But there it is. The Super Bowl contenders, they very well could change. Buffalo did not look fantastic against the Patriots. Detroit suffering through a lot of injuries right now too, and they've got to face Minnesota still. The Week 18. Imagine this: the Week 18 matchup for the Lions and the Vikings might determine who wins that division. Who would have thought we'd be saying that in Week 1 of this year?
Yeah, especially after their rookie went down and we learned that it was Sam Darnold. I wouldn't have seen it.
No one could have possibly predicted that. Whoever bet the over on their record this year at the beginning of the year, or potentially bet on them to win the division, man, they're gonna be rolling in it this year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Alrighty, well there it is. Now it is time to talk about the matchup, the big game on Christmas Day.
One we've all been waiting for.
The one we've all been waiting for, and the one that we should have been there to see witness live. Damn you, NFL. But yes, noon, Christmas Day, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know what? Well, here's what we'll do. We'll talk a little bit. I'll present my case of why I think the Chiefs will win and a final score prediction, and then I will let you have the floor. Present your case why you think the Steelers might win, and present your final score too, and we shall see what happens on Christmas Day. So, just starting with a few stats here too on ESPN. The Chiefs are opening up as 2.5-point favorites, and the over/under this week is 43.5. And I am willing to bet that the under will probably be what happens this week in this game, because we've got a team in the Chiefs that's starting to figure out their offense now. They have a defense here that might very well be without Chris Jones this week, so that will be a huge blow for us. On top of the fact that our secondary has been beat up pretty bad. But I will say this: every game this year, the Chiefs have stepped up. They have risen to the occasion. And whether it's been 2 points or whether it's been, 2 scores, I can't say more than that because we have not really dominated anyone this year. The Chiefs always seem to find a way. I think Pat Mahomes is going to find Hollywood Brown a little more often now. He showed a little bit what he can do. I think he'll get more looks this time. Xavier Worthy is getting hot at the right time. I think our rushing attack will be more effective because of how we saw the rushing attack of the Ravens attack the Steelers here too. And even so, even if the Steelers decide to shore up their rushing attack, that just leaves more targets wide open for a Kelsey or for Hollywood or for Xavier. I can see this game being a low-scoring battle still, but I'm going to take Kansas City with the win of 23-17.
23-17. Well, I'm going to explain to you why that's all bullshit. No, on paper, we're very even. I mean, points forced for the year for you guys, 356. Points forced for us, 353. Mm-hmm. You've had less points allowed. We're just right there with you, though. I think the biggest thing is going to be is if George Pickens is available. That's what I'm keeping my eye on. If we have those weapons in place, get a few guys back on like Joey Porter, make sure he's healthy. Some of Elliott, make sure he's healthy. Get those guys in place. I think we could do very well. I like our matchup on your tackles. I don't think they're that good. Um, so we'll see on that. But yeah, I think this could be a very interesting game. It's all going to, if we stop Pacheco, I think we got this one.
And Hunt. Yeah.
Well, yeah, your running game. If we
There you go.
limit your running game, if you guys have less than 75 yards this game, I think we win.
There we go. All righty. Your final score prediction, sir.
Oh man. 24-14. Steelers win.
24-14. Well, there you go. It's still below 43.5 points, so there we go. Alrighty, well there is our prediction. We'd love to hear your predictions down in the comments below. But it's going to be a hell of a Christmas day, and boy howdy, it's going to be very interesting when we talk about it. Literally, probably a week after the game has happened. So you're not even going to get like the fresh like emotional reactions from us too. We're going to have a whole week to like simmer down and actually like digest what happens and everything too. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens too. Obviously, huge playoff implications on the line here too. Being the Chiefs win, they lock in the first round bye. The Steelers win, the Steelers win, and the Ravens lose to the Houston Texans. I believe the Steelers will clinch, or will they need the extra week?
I think it's a division rival at the end. We have to win out.
You have to win out. Okay, so this is the first big step for the Steelers if they are able to win on Wednesday to get if they can get the win against that would be Cleveland, I believe, correct, in Week 18 or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. You played the Browns twice, so it'd be Cincinnati. Okay, very good. So there we go. That is our show this week. Again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends. And from our families to yours, we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is Temple and Trajan.